This is the one space I haven't really touched since we moved in. I did at one point add items to baskets thinking it would help with organization, but I've learned that I won't use items in the space if I cannot see them. This cabinet has a lot of items that have homes elsewhere. It's time to make their way to their home, and our smoothie section is just out of hand. I'm not in the season to regularly use cloth napkins, so we can make better use of this drawer. And for this one, I'd like to buy more dividers, but right now we're just going to clean this up a little bit. My teas just need to be cleaned up a little bit as well. This drawer is not well used with the serving trays, but I don't have a solution for them at the moment, so it is what it is. To make the best use of this space, I think I really need risers. I have a lot of unwashed dishes, so it will be full eventually. The other side isn't really being used effectively either. It was housing all of my bread making items. It's still gonna live here because this is where I make my bread, but I don't need it to be on the bottom shelf. We're starting over here in this cabinet. This is one that I already had a pretty good game plan for. This bottom area is going to be used for housing all of my coffee items that we use every single morning. We're trying to not use plastic with a Keurig. We go back and forth with this, so we're just going to be using a French press for now. And we also use our smoothie machine on a regular basis, but if I can get anything off my counters, that's always the goal. For me, I'm a very visual person, and if there's visual clutter, I don't see the clutter, and I will just walk by things and it will continue to accumulate. That's why tip number 3 is so incredibly important, because we oftentimes create systems around the person that we want to be instead of the person that we actually are right now. I know for me, kind of cleaning, organizing, and figuring out how to appropriately do things around my own habits, create these systems around my own habits, has been a process that's taking me 3-4 years now. So just be kind and gentle as you learn yourself and start thinking through these things when you're organizing and creating systems. Whatever reason, I'm like my mother, I'm really drawn to coffee creamers, and I just love to collect them, and I use them for all sorts of stuff, flowers, and for holding little bits like this. It's just so fun to be out and about or go thrifting and come across a new one of these. It just brings me so much joy, and I think we really have to lean into that. I have so many good decluttering tips I cannot wait to share with you guys in a future video, but one of the ones I live by is I do try to repurpose items before I declutter them if I can. This basket I love, I think it's so beautiful, but I actually don't really like it on my counter, so I'm going to try to repurpose that for something maybe like all of my cords. This cabinet definitely had the items that we decided to let go of. There's just a lot of things that we hadn't used in a really long time that I forgot existed, to be honest, and then we're also pulling out all the things that don't belong here. They have a different home, like oils and candles and things of that nature. There are so many benefits to keeping our home organized, but one of them is that we just use the items that we have, and especially when it comes to food, we're not wasting as much. Like this green powder, I have no idea what it actually is, and if I hadn't cleaned this out today, I definitely would have let it go bad. This is off topic, but a super fun gift idea for a family member is to create some custom dishware. We did this for my husband in 2019 with all the kiddos' handprints, and this I did when we had our first little girl for my husband. So just a fun gift idea for holidays, birthdays, or Father's Day. I'm a sentimental person, and I just want to tell you that there are ways to keep your sentimental items and love them and use them and not feel pressured to get rid of them. And I think a lot of minimizing and decluttering videos will tell you to get rid of those items. And I'm against that. I think that those hold such fond memories. Like these dishes, I don't use them often. They're my grandmother's. I do use them from time to time, but sometimes just opening up my cabinet and seeing them is just such a fond memory of hers. So that McDonald's cup that is so ancient was also hers as well. I'll never use that, but I just remember seeing it in her cabinet as a kid. She always used it. She'd go to McDonald's and get free coffee nearly every single day. This is one of those system things that I'm going to try out. I don't know if this is going to drive me absolutely bananas, but we're going to see. All of these cups actually fit in here. I was so surprised by that. And we don't have a good place for our on-the-go coffee cups. And I want it to be right next to the coffee station. That makes absolutely the most sense. So we're going to give this a go for a little bit and see how it works.
I just hope you've been through worse.
I cannot wait to start doing Valentine's Day content, but look at this. Isn't this such a cute way to fold a napkin? It's a little rose.
Sometimes I'm the light, don't wanna pick a fight with everything seems.
To give your drawers a customized feel, a lot of people like to buy inserts, but I'm fully convinced that the bamboo dividers are actually the better way to go because you'll never have any leftover awkward space. You'll see in my tea drawer, but the more customizable ones are a great route as well. And this is where those good feels started kicking in, where I could put things in these little systems that I'd already created, like the smoothing container and the towels. I just moved them over to the other cabinet in the basket. Now, this is a category that needed to come out of the boxes, all of my hosting stuff. I think having all of my hosting stuff visible in general does actually encourage me to host more. I know maybe that might seem silly and that's not everybody, but that's kind of, again, when I talk about learning yourself. So having all this stuff visible is something that was priority for me. And I also wanted to pull out anything that didn't belong. So the coffee creamer and the sugar bowl need to go with the coffee creamer and sugar bowls that you guys saw me set up earlier, that little bin, but we are going to actually have to move that into a little bit of a larger container to be able to host the sugar bowls as well. And we're going to do that here in just a minute.
I guess I can't help myself. Would you call on me if I'm in the dark? I'm calling up 'cause I'm right under the stars. Would you run on me leaving this mark? But baby, I'm the one who's...
Once I'm finished decluttering and organizing my whole house, that's when I actually go back through and create my labels. I use a Cricut to make the labels, so it is a process. So I typically just don't do that until the very end after I've completed my organizing and decluttering projects. Usually that is a twice a year thing. Sometimes our family drinks tea every single day, and sometimes we don't drink tea for months. So we definitely needed to organize this and remove any old teas. And I have no idea what to do with those green teas. They're definitely probably super old by now. I'm not sure how long green tea lasts, but maybe we could do something for beauty, create an eye mask maybe, I don't know. And we also need to go on a tea run because currently we're all about tea. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel here, so we are going to just clean up the mess because everything is nice and organized now. Get the counter cleaned off, get that wiped down, and then start sweeping. Recording this voiceover the next day, and I can't tell you how awesome it was to wake up and open this cabinet this morning and make my French press and to make the kids a smoothie out of here. It's just so very nice. There's just nothing like the next day after organizing or like the next hour after organizing. It just gives me all the feels. I definitely didn't figure out this drawer, but maybe that will happen in a future video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that it motivated and encouraged you, and maybe you got a couple good tips along the way. Until next time, guys, bye.